All right, as I read through this problem, I'm going to underline any quantities that I see and their units. So the Washington State Ferry from Anacortes to Friday Harbor in the San Juan Islands travels 19.3 miles in 70 minutes. What is the average speed of the ferry in miles per hour and in meters per second? So I'm going to take those quantities that I just underlined, and those are my givens. So I'm given 19.3 miles. Miles measures distance. So distance equals 19.3 miles. And it's really important that I write MI for miles. Otherwise, if I just put M, that looks like meters. And then that all happened in 70 minutes. Minutes is time. Equals 70, and I'll just put MIN for minutes. And I'm asked to find the average speed of the ferry. So, should be writing here that I want to find my average speed. So I'm going to use the equation, velocity average equals distance divided by time. All right, and then I'm asked for the speed in miles per hour. So if I take my distance, that's the miles part, over the time, that's what I want hours to be. If I look at my givens, right now I have miles, that's great. But right here for time, I have minutes. I want my answer to be in hours. So I need to convert that 70 minutes into hours. I know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So I can actually convert this 70 minutes times a conversion factor. I want to end up with hours in the numerator, and my minutes should cancel out, so I'll put hours up here, and my 60 minutes down here. I'm going to just check here. My units cancel out. Good. So I'm going to punch in my calculator. I can imagine the 70 over 1. I'm going to punch in 70 for the numerator divided by 60 in the denominator. So 70 divided by 60, I end up with 1.17. And my units here are now hours. So what I can do is actually go back up here in my givens. Now I know that also time is equivalent to 1.17 hours. All right, now I can go back to my equation, and I'll just use a third color here. So my average velocity equals distance, which is 19.3 miles, divided by time, and now I can use 1.17 hours. If I do that on my calculator, typing in 19.3 divided by 1.17, I end up with about 16.5. I'm running out of room, miles per hour. So that's the first part of my question. Then I'm asked to figure out my answer in meters per second. Well, if I look at the bottom of the page, I see that 1 mile per hour equals 0.447 meters per second. So I'll take this answer, 16.5 miles per hour, and I'm going to multiply by a conversion factor. I want to end up with meters per second, so those are my new units, so that should go on the numerator. So 0.447 meters per second divided by 1 mile per hour. So I can multiply out my numerators and my denominators. I'm going to end up punching in 16.5 times 0.447, and I end up with 7.38, and let's check our units. Miles per hour cancel out, so I end up with meters per second, and that is my answer to the second part of that question.